What is up, y'all? Hope you're having a good night. Coming back with some exciting news this time. I'm really excited they finally released the patch notes for the January PTR. First and foremost, I'm going to try to get through this as nice as I can. I've been really sick this last few days, along with all of my family. So, still trying to recover. So if you guys hear a couple of coughs, I do apologize. But we'll try to get through this the best I can. I have not read through the notes completely. So this is kind of a fresh look into the patch notes for the PTR. I didn't know generally kind of what is going on with the PTR just from the big team update they did and the hour-and-a-half long team update that is over on YouTube. If you guys haven't watched that, please go ahead and do that, because it gives you big insights into how the developers are actually working the game. It helped me a lot to understand some of the things that I didn't, so that's just a little advice for you guys. If not, you know, it is what it is. Come here for your news. I'm okay with that. Alright, so first things first, they're going to be adding to the PTR the Mutators, and that's something that they did tell us about. Basically what it's going to do is mutate the dungeons to make them just a little more enticing and difficult for us people who do the PvE and the PvP. I do a little bit of both. Still mostly PvP focused, but kind of read through and let you guys know. But we are introducing a new endgame feature: Expedition Mutators. Mutators change the familiar by augmenting elite and named items found within expeditions, changing the way encounters play out, and what strategies players should consider before battle. All right. You know what? I'm not going to read through all this. Basically, what's going to happen is they're going to rotate different mutators throughout the dungeons. It looks like there's going to be 10 different expedition difficulties for the mutations each week. So it'll be cool. It'll be fun. I'll let you guys read through it all. Looks like actually pretty cool. They're going to be giving you a recommended gear score that you'll want for each of the levels of the mutation, which is awesome. I'm really happy about that. So I'll let you guys, if you want to read the specifics, please go ahead. There's a lot to this post from what I've seen, so I want to get through it as quick as we can. I don't have much of a voice left, so at least it's working with us right now. All right. So there's going to be 10 difficulties in the mutations. Mutations are going to rotate per week. I don't know if that means like the next week there's going to be even newer rotations, or they're going to rotate the 10 different difficulties of mutations, but we might learn that. You know what I mean? Entering a mutated expedition. Upon approaching and interacting with the expedition menu, players will be able to see the type of mutator available, the mutation level, gear score recommendations recommended to advance, and lastly, if they meet qualifications for entry. Okay. All right, I see you. Oh, now I don't know if those qualifications are... Oh, there you go. So mutator orbs are universal. Players can craft one per week and will be able to purchase additional orbs in the faction shop. Ooh. I like that a lot. It gives maybe a better use for our faction tokens. Hopefully those orbs don't cost a lot in the shop. Maybe they're just tokens, but that'd be cool. Push more people into that, or more people into the PvP missions for faction would be cool too, so that we can actually complete that kill 5 of the opposite faction missions in the PvP. You know what I'm saying? So that thing lingering around for 20 minutes. So scoring and advancement. So they are going to have score system for these mutations, which I think is going to be really cool. I'm hoping it'll make it so like if someone's looking for someone to help out with mutation, you can be like, hey, my score is blah 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 in mutations. Help finding better group members rather than just the random people that are like, oh, I'll do it with you. And you get in and it's like a tank who doesn't have a carnelian gem in his sword, so he can't pull aggro from a healer. That's annoying. Just just putting it out there. As a healer, you know what I'm saying? So the following categories will count towards your group's overall score. I don't know if there's going to be so there's a group score. Score is also shared value for group members. Okay. We'll see how it works. I'm really looking forward to dive into. You guys will get some videos from the PTR. So it's just an overview, and then we'll go into specifics with more videos. So the following category counts towards the group's overall score. Time. The better time and the better score calculated at the end of the run, which makes sense. AI kills a target value for killing a predetermined amount of enemies within the expedition. Takedowns a target value for killing named enemies within the expedition. Team wipe. So this one I like a lot. So each team wipe during a boss fight reduces the score by a significant amount, and I think that's going to show you kind of how well your team composition is. If you guys are losing a boatload of points each time because you get team wipes all the time, you may want to rethink your team comp. If you guys want to see my thoughts on team composition in dungeons, put it down in the comments. Maybe I'll make a video. You know what I'm saying? They're also looking at respawns. Each respawn reduces the score by a moderate amount. There are also bonus multipliers for run efficiency, minimal respawning, wiping, speed, and taking down all targets. These are calculated at the end of the expeditions. The score ranks are bronze, silver, and gold. Okay, I guess sorry about the coughs, guys. I do appreciate you sticking through if you are watching. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Helps me out drastically. I'd appreciate it. Advancement through each mutator difficulty level requires reaching a designated level of proficiency within the highest achieved level. Higher scores mean advancement to higher difficulties, which in turn lead to bigger rewards. I like it. I really like it. They did tease with the, I'm sure it's going to be in the patch notes, but with the introduction of the mutation system, there's going to be an increase in gear score. They did say that in the big team meeting, but they did not give us a specific value of how high that was going to go, but we'll see if that happens into the next piece of this. Oh man, tea's helping so much. All right, so mutation effects. I'm not going to read through all of them, but I'll just give you kind of what they are, all right? You guys can read through. I'm going to leave the patch notes in the description below, all right? So our mutation effects are elemental, promotions, which I'll just read out because we don't really know. They're savage and indomitable. So savages apply healing reduction and casting damage beams around themselves. Oh, yo, that's tight. That's gonna really suck for healers like me, but that's pretty cool. That's gonna be a pain in the butt to kill those people. Oh man, I'm not looking forward to that. Indomitable creatures persist through damage with life-stealing abilities and the ability to summon a phalanx, blocking all incoming player projectiles. Holy shit. Those might be OP. Let's see how much life stealing they actually get, but that's insane. So at least I'll only get one of each of those, but those could be difficult. I'm liking it because it gives you a little more thinking that you have to do in these dungeons rather than just fucking left click the whole way through it, you know what I'm saying? There's going to be curses. Like I said, I'll let you guys read through that. I'm not worried about it right now, but those are going to be your different mutation effects. So what they had said kind of in the team meeting was like, one of your 10 mutations for the week will be like a fire mutation. So then you could adapt your armor to absorb more fire damage, allowing you to get through those dungeons easier and get yourself a higher score. So that's something that they had already talked about. It looks like they're implementing. All right. Expedition changes with the release of Expedition Mutators. We've made some balance changes and updates to the existing content. We've made expeditions more enticing by updating rewards and drop rates. Ooh. Bringing them in line with other endgame activities. Drop rates for named enemies and expeditions have been significantly increased. T5 gear have been added to Dynasty. Oh, yes. Dynasty shipyard loot tables when playing in a mutated expedition. That's what I was hoping for. We've adjusted certain enemy counts. Lazarus reduced the number of enemies when sealing the ancient Azov portal. So that's really cool. I was really hoping that Dynasty would. I've led so many people through Dynasty, it's not even funny. We literally had a stream 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, right before merger. So that was actually probably over a month ago. Holy crap. Where I did Dynasty, I think it was 13 times in a day. Just trying to help people out. So we'll see. So a really big fix that it looks like they've made, which I'm very happy about, is fast travel costs. We've heard your frustrations with the cost of fast travel, and then this release includes a update that dramatically reduces the distance factor and the amount of azoth required for each trip. Accordingly, the faction control point bonus associated with fast travel now reduces the distance factor to 0. Oh yes, that's awesome. You can be down at First Light as long as your people own like fucking Brightwood. You can fast travel with no distance factor, which is awesome. Still, you'll have to factor in your weight and things like that. Notable fixes. I'm gonna let you guys read through that, unless I see one that looks good. Give me 1 second. Yeah, the only one that I really saw is issue with an elite chest clipping through Orichalcum Vein, making it difficult to loot in Murkguard will be nice. Nothing that's like too bad, alright? Perfect. So if you guys want to see these, please go ahead and feel free to read through them. They're in the description below. Appreciate it. So general AI fixes, we're going to skip over those two. If you guys want to read through those, it's perfectly fine. I'm very happy that they're reducing some stuff with the tendrils. That's about the only thing I've taken away so far from it. So combat, they have mutator perks that they are adding. Okay, this seems pretty cool from what I've heard about it, but weapon perks, flame attuned. Attunement. Wow, I cannot read today. Attack deals an additional 15% weapon damage as fire. Cooldown's 2 seconds. That's awesome. I'm really hoping it's not too OP. My guess will be that this is going to, the cooldown's going to be increased. An extra 15% weapon damage is a lot. So keep an eye on it. I'm pretty sure it's going to get increased, you know what I mean? So there might be a cooldown of 10 seconds or 5 seconds. Because every 2 seconds getting an additional 15% damage as fire, like that's insane. It's insane. So we'll see how it works. I'll give you guys a little update on that eventually. It's the same thing for the Frost Attuned. We have a Arboreal Attunement, which is your nature damage. Abyssal Attunement, which is going to be your void damage. It's all the same, cooldown 2 seconds, 15% weapon damage as the specific type. Now, with this, I'm very happy to see some armor perks coming, which I think are going to change drastically what you're looking at here. I was just reading it while we were reading the weapon perks. So your armor perks, we have Flame Conditioning, which is after being hit by a fire damaged attack, gain 4% fire absorption for 5 seconds. Each piece of armor with this perk increases the potency of the effect. Okay, and then this also is the same types as the weapon perks that are coming. So they're introducing a new damage that you could have, but they're also giving you a way of combating it. So if somebody has Frost Attunement on their weapon, that's 15% damage, but you can combat that with 5 pieces that have 4% damage, which is actually a 20% reduction. So, and that's 4 or 5 seconds. I don't know what the cooldown is on it. It doesn't seem to say. So I don't know if you get hit by another fire attack after that 5 seconds, if it stays. But we'll see. We'll test it out. But biggest thing for me, even with the stuff that we have now, with the meta we're dealing with right now, the reduction of void damage is going to be immensely useful. Oh my gosh, I am sick and tired of the Ice Gauntlets and Void Gauntlets in war. Just saying. And last war I had 4 Oblivions on me at once. Just guys just throwing them down. So reducing that void damage will be good. Sorry for my healers that are running that Void Gauntlet. Life Staff, like, it's gonna get nerfed. We all knew it. Alright. Check out your Life Staff and Rapier builds. Those work really well. Just a heads up. Anyways, PvP damage formula it's the same information that they gave us the last PTR. Apparently it just didn't work out properly, but they're just looking at the damage mitigation on enemies' gear going off of their actual gear score, not the average gear score. And then they're adjusting the armor mitigation and increasing the damage of low-level players on high-level players so people can participate in PvP that aren't level 60. So, you know, I'm not overly a fan of this. I think that people should be rewarded in the time they put into the game. But I do understand the want to have all players be able to participate in PvP. And honestly, it's more people for me to kill, so let's go. Bring it on. So notable fixes. Fix an issue that allows musket and bow light attacks to be activated underwater. I didn't know you could do that. That's pretty cool. Fixed an issue that blocked bow from entering aim down sights if swapping to bow while in musket snipers assume. Okay. Updated Rapier Tondo ability and bow barbed arrow rain of arrows. Upgrade tooltips to state the damage per second instead of the overall damage throughout effect for the damage over time effects. Oh, okay, cool. That's pretty cool. They'll do that. Fixed an issue where player movement speed was sometimes increased while placing a camp. Ooh, that's how they got the movement bug? That's pretty cool. I'm trying to see if there's anything that's like actually important for you guys to get. Fix issue where if shift is being held while aiming down sights with a bow or musket, or if a player used any navigation action, the animation would stutter. Oh, there you go. There's that stutter animation. See, I didn't know how it happened, but I just knew it was there. So for any of your bow players or musket players that are still getting that right now, I mean, don't hold shift while aiming down sights. All right, yeah, we're gonna not worry about those. If you guys want to read through them, please go ahead. Yeah. So endgame updates. This is really what I'm here for. Honestly, this is what I've been waiting for. We're gonna read through all of this. So if you guys haven't noticed, you've had an option on all of your weapons and armor to upgrade them. That's already been in the game. That's why I know much about it. But all that we've really known is that if you look at your items, you can go into the normal build right now, and you guys can see this. There is an upgrade. If you highlight over it, it says it needs an Umbral shard to upgrade. Okay, so they are adding Endgame Update Part 2 in the Umbral upgrade system. Super excited about this. So the upgrade system, players can upgrade individual gear pieces from gear score 600 to 625 by spending Umbral shards. So it looks like they're going to be increasing our gear score to 625 with the mutations in the dungeons, which is great. Looking forward to it. And if you have a piece that's like really meta and you really like it, you'll be able to upgrade it from 600 to 625. I'm assuming it's going to take a bit for you to upgrade it to that point. Kind of like the expertise system where it goes up by a certain amount per Umbral shard. But we'll find out. But I'm really looking forward to that. I have a rapier now that I would really like to increase and keep. So, yeah. And if I pull Will of the Ancients from Lazarus and get that life staff, I'd like to get that up 625. So, the ability to upgrade items of any type is unlocked when players hit 600 expertise for that specific item. Okay, so 590 is not going to be our max anymore. It'll be 600. Players can acquire Umbral shards via 3 methods. Expedition Mutators are the most effective way to earn shards. The higher the difficulty level, the higher the score rank achieved, the more shards a player will earn. So better you do, the more shards you get. Got it. Opening Gypsum Casts. Once the expertise of any type has reached 600, or at least 600. Oh, okay. So it gives you a reason to still hit those casts, which is cool. Crafting 600 gear score items once the expertise of that type has reached at least 600 expertise. Okay. So each time you craft a gear score item of 600, then you have a possibility of getting a shard if you have 600 expertise in that item. I don't know how that's going to work. If shards are bound on pickup, that's going to make our crafters have a crap ton of shards. So you might want to start leveling up those professions, guys. And oh man, I don't know. Upgrading an item via Umbral shards binds the item to the player. Yeah, that makes sense. Once you start upgrading, it's going to be yours. That makes sense. It'll probably already be on your character anyways. Not a big deal. But that does make it so that, like, if you found in the wild a 600 gear score off of the drop, you can't upgrade it to 625 and then sell it on the market. That kind of sucks, but at the same time, I get it. It's not really a big deal. One thing I would recommend for you guys is if you do have 590 gear score in one of your expertises already, make sure you use those cooldowns to get those casts made. You don't use them yet. Okay, so like I have 590 gear score in my life staff. It's going to increase to 600, so I want to make sure I have at least 5 of those expertise, or not expertise, sorry, gypsum casts for the life staff in my stash. That way, when it bumps up to 600, I know that, hey, the minimum is 2, the maximum is 5 on a gypsum cast. So if I have 5 of the life staffs, I will increase it up to 600. So I won't have to wait for 5 days of cooldowns to do so. So start doing it now. Okay? It's my advice to you guys. So expertise system now goes up to 625. Players raise their expertise from 590 to 600 through current means of casts and random open world bumps. Expertise is increased from 600 to 625 via the Umbral system. That was very vague. So you're going to be able to get drops to 600 still and then increase them to 625, it looks like. So you're going to have to grind out those shards, it looks like. I'm really hoping that they're going to be adding a crafting element, maybe a new item that has cooldowns. I've talked about this on stream a couple times. I really hope they can add like something higher than runic leather, higher than Asmodeum, that requires those to build it. It has a cooldown of its own, which will allow us to craft 625 gear. I'm really hoping that'll happen, but we'll see. They've said that they really want their crafting people to have a big purpose in this game, so I'm hoping that they'll do that. Expertise gear scaling. Any item that is purchased from the trading post and acquired through P2P after player to player. Shoot. After the January patch, will have its effective gear score scaled down to the midpoint of the player's expertise and item gear score if their expertise is lower than the item's gear score. Okay. So this is something that we've talked about this a lot lately in Guild, and it really sucks that they are confirming it this way. They didn't fully confirm before that player to player was going to adjust the expertise system. They did say that crafted items were not supposed to drop their gear score down. So this kind of sucks, just to be frank about it. I'm assuming that people are going to... I know I'll go to the forums and talk to them about it, and people are probably going to go to the forums and say the same. But if you have somebody in your guild who has 200, Arcana make you a life staff with your materials just because they can make it, and you have not put your prestige up, or your not your prestige, what am I talking about? Your proficiency up with that Arcana skill in order to craft it yourself and have all the trophies and gear to do so. It's going to make it so that item's not as effective because your expertise level is not up. So it's going to force people to grind their expertise level, which I thought was something they were trying to avoid with being able to craft stuff. So I'm really hoping that they reverse this and allow that if I have, like my boy Renji makes me life staff all the time, If he traded it to me before, when my expertise wasn't up so high, it would get the medium value. So if it was a 600 life staff and I didn't have any expertise bump from 500, then it would be a 550 life staff instead of a 600 life staff, scaling it down. So we'll see what happens with that. I'm really hope they fixed it. That if they fix it, that it's like if it's bought off the trading post, 100% agree it should be scaled down. But if it's traded player to player within your company, I don't think it should. That's my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. It really does frustrate me a little bit for our crafters, because I know if this is the case, I'm either gonna get my expertise all the way up with every item that I use, which includes my rapier because I just started using that and it's really low, or I'm just not gonna have people craft me things until I grind it. So it's gonna be a lull in crafting. Might make your markets go down a little bit too, guys. Heads up. So general enhancements, improvements. Whenever you craft a 600 gear score item, if your expertise for that item is under 600, it will trigger an expertise bump. Ooh, this will be another great way for crafters to get their expertise to 600, in addition to the already released, the gypsum from the trade aptitude crates. So it looks like they're trying to help the crafters get their gear score up, because they figure if they're crafting a bunch of things, they're probably farming a lot more and not doing as much for gear score bumps. But it looks like I don't really know what they're doing here, because they're rewarding the crafter for making the items, but they're doing nothing for the person who is trying to have the crafter make the item for them, which is where you get me like kind of I don't know. We'll see. You're gonna kind of, I'm hoping they don't push people away, because they're forcing people who are PvP players to level their proficiencies up, or do PvE chest runs to get your expertise up, or do dungeons, which they don't want to do. I mean, we have people in our guild who just want to PvP. They just play OPR and everything like that. And yes, you can get your expertise up through OPR. I get that, but it takes a long while. So who knows? We'll see what happens. But if you get an expertise bump from a random drop in the open world, the loot ticker will now show which item gave you the expertise bump. I like that a lot. Rather than just saying expertise 544, it'll show you what item did it, which is cool. You get an expertise bump from opening a reward cache. The opening sequence will highlight which item gave you the expertise bump. Sweet, sounds good. You can now craft the Topaz Gypsum Attunement Potion from the Arcana Station, as well as a T5 camp, which is awesome. 4 you can only do it from the camps, increasing the odds of getting Topaz Gypsums while killing enemies and attuned. I like that a lot. There was people that were running the Topaz Gypsums while we were doing our big pushes, our big zergs, and they were getting almost nothing. So it'll be good if they can do that a little better with increased odds, you know what I mean? Game entry navigation assistance added to the game. The system will help visually impaired players enter the world of Eternum through voice narration, some of critical steps needed to create a character, and get to the starting beach. I like that a lot. That's awesome. Remove the ability to give gold to individuals outside of the person-to-person trading system. Oh, so you have to actually interact with each other to trade gold now, which I like. Notable fixes: they fixed a bug where Outpost Rush reward screen would only show one reward even if multiple were awarded. Okay. Alright. Fixed a bug that caused the territory standing upgrade UI to stay on screen if player starts to trade while visible. Oh, I didn't know that. Adjust many Void Gauntlet icons to match the Gauntlet's model color. Okay. But that's cool. I'm really excited for this PTR. We're going to dive more into it when it gets released. It didn't tell us a release date on this specific screen. Let me go back and see here. So the public test room will be available starting today at 5 p.m. So it's been up for 3 hours, 3.5 hours now. For us Eastern folk, which will be awesome. Sweet, sweet, sweet. You can start with a level 60 character. They're going to allow you to be able to test all this basically, which is going to be really cool. And we will see. Looks like there's some balance changes to Outpost Rush that they did not go over within the last post that I had just read for you guys. So I'm going to link both of these forum posts in the description below so you guys have them. You want to check them out yourselves. I appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Appreciate anybody who waited till the end of the video and stayed through me with this trip of sickness right now. But I appreciate you guys. More videos to come soon, especially once I can jump into that PTR and kind of test this all out for you guys. But peace out. I'll see you guys in the next video.